Welcome to the BVTV Global Network, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. There's something exciting happening in the world of construction today. No, I don't mean the physical aspects of buildings, bridges and roads, but it's equally as valuable. It's the triple valuable contribution that a big company like the one that my guests represent to, one, the safety and education of children, two, the encouragement of careers in this important sector, as well as three, delivering societal gain. And this book that I've got in my hand is what we'll be chatting about as I say hello to my guests from Balfour Beatty. Welcome, Kate Brown and Catherine Morgan. Hello.
Morning, Malcolm. Lovely to be here.
And I better just point out to my viewers, you're always back to front, aren't we? So if you're looking at the screen, on the left is Kate, and on the right is Catherine. Yes, we've got that now. And behind them is their company vehicles. Right. So I'm so looking forward to talking about the cones and building bridges. By the way, my 7-year-old granddaughter loves it. But before we get started, can you tell us first who Balfour Beatty is? I know you're a huge company, but tell us a little bit more about what the company does and where.
Yeah, of course, no problem, Malcolm. So yes, we're the largest construction company in the UK, and we work across a number of industry sectors, including construction services, infrastructure investment, and also support services also. If you think about us in the global sense, then we also operate in the US and Hong Kong. But Catherine and I, we both work for the UK Construction Services Business Unit, specifically across Yorkshire and the North East, and even more specifically, currently a large investment in the Leeds area. And I think that really demonstrates our commitment to positively impacting locally, as well as having a national and global presence.
Yeah, it's so nice to see that a UK company is winning UK contracts, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got a large investment in Leeds at the moment, but we're just a small part of the wider Leeds story. There's so much investment going on in the city at the moment to improve logistics, infrastructure, and just to really elevate Leeds as a city. Not that it needed that much elevating, but just to improve the infrastructure around it. And we're very proud to be part of that story.
Okay, great. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I live in Northumberland. We've got a few ruined castles up here if you've got any spare time, Now, what brought you to wanting to produce this Cones book? What problem or challenge or even opportunity do you think it will solve for you?
Well, I think social value has moved up the agenda so much in the last few years, not only for companies like ourselves, but also for our customers also. And we're really trying to understand the best way to dovetail our aspirations together. And vehicles like the Cone series of books really give us an opportunity to push that positive message out to young people also. We all know about the skills gap. We've heard about this impending doom that's coming. So any channels that we can actually use to positively influence young people, do some of that myth busting around the industry is really important. And I think as well, this book offers us the chance to humanise the industry. We talk a lot about different roles within the industry, and also the excitement, the fact that it's fun. It's not all hard hat and high vis. It's not all big machineries churning up your roads. And that there's an awful lot more to the industry that I think this book will help young people especially understand.
Excellent. Yeah.
Something else that we thought was really important was that we were engaging with local talent. So I think you were talking to Keith last week, but Chris and Keith are very local to the Leeds area. A lot of the previous Cones book have been based in Yorkshire and the Humber as well. So we really wanted to engage with a local author as a big company, again, working with local talent.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you, Catherine. But what was interesting, what you were saying there, working with local talent, that do you think somewhere down the line, people will start to love cones?
As they don't at the moment, you mean?
Yes, yeah. You think, no, it just means, oh no, delay.
I think the more we can do to positively promote cones, the better.
I got you. No, as I said, my granddaughter loves your book. She's a good reader and she immerses herself into a story. I think that's what's good about it. It's not a book that you can just read, but you can also imagine situations and almost act them out, can't you? So please tell everyone what the book is about. And by the way, my favorite character is Cone Vera. She's sort of Coronation Street, isn't she?
Brilliant.
Well, in Cones and Building Bridges, we follow the four main characters: Cone Vera, as you mentioned, Constance, Conan, and Conrad. Conrad's my favourite because he's kind of the naughty cone. And they are led around two major Balfour Beatty projects in Leeds. So the Regent Street Flyover project, which is just in the city centre, and then East Leeds Orbital Route. So this is part of a series of books written by Chris Madley, with each book focusing on these four main cone characters. So in this book, the cones learn about what is going on with each project. They learn about all the different machines used and the importance of safety around all these machines and around construction sites in general. They also teach the reader about how many different jobs are involved in construction and how many different people are needed on each project. And all these people are equally as important to make the project a success, basically. As you mentioned, your granddaughter's about 7 years old, so these books are aimed for children 7 to 8 years old, really.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm looking forward to my other granddaughter, who I haven't seen for a little while, though, and she's 5 and a good reader, but I bet she'll get into it as well. So I'll be having them both read to each other. Right. I asked you earlier what your intention in commissioning the book was, your aims for it. How do you feel it's delivering or will be delivering all those aims now it's complete?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's such an engaging book. I think you alluded to that earlier, Malcolm, when you said it's a book that you really need to get involved in. It's not a book that you just read. It really does bring industry and situations to life. I think as well, it's an existing and such a well-loved vehicle already to get messages out to young people that, there's no reason to think that this would be any different. So I think it does a great job in teaching people about inclusion and diversity, really opening up the world and the industry of construction to people, really encouraging people to follow their dreams. And as I mentioned earlier, not just about hard hats and high vis. There's such a range of opportunities available to people and such a journey of a career that they can go on. And I think this book just introduces people to that.
Yeah.
I think something else it does really well is it highlights the need for sustainability within the industry. And this really fits in with the Balfour Beatty sustainability strategy. We want to positively impact more than 1 million people by 2030, I believe. So this book will really help with doing that. When we hand it out to school children and give it to charities and hospitals and stuff, it will engage more and more young people with what the industry has to offer. It
does. It links in with a couple of our key messages. One around sustainability, which is think global, act local. And I think that kind of links into what we were saying earlier about really wanting to have a local presence, understanding what's happening locally and how we can positively influence that. And I think the second one of that, which is safety, an absolute number one priority for Balfour Beatty. Our initiative Zero Harm is also explained in the book, but that's just not about keeping our workforce safe, but about keeping everybody safe and making sure that everybody goes home safe every day.
Yeah, I just think and Catherine, it's a brilliant message. And this, by the way, I think will do a great service to putting the culture and the character into it all. So finally, just before we end, and by the way, my granddaughter does say thanks for a great book. How will people get a hold of a copy and when?
Yeah, so we plan to give the book out for free when engaging with local primary schools as part of our social value activities. As well, we want to give the books out to local hospitals and some local charities as well. However, if you work for a school within the UK and you'd like some copies to give to your students, then feel free to email me at catherine.morgan@balfourbeatty.com and I can arrange some copies to be delivered to you.
I said at the beginning of this podcast that big companies like Balfour Beatty are providing valuable societal gains. I trust you agree with me and that this Cones book, this one, is a great example of such gain. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much, Malcolm.